Welcome back. You're watching Kanina's BS. That BS stands for Best Solutions. I am Kanina Johnson, and I have my guest here. I love my guest. I love my guest. I love my guest. Yeah, there she is. Beth Bridges, the networking motivator and author of Networking on Purpose. She's also the former Chamber of Commerce executive who have attended over 25 networking events. Yeah, you heard it right. Over 25 networking events. And guess what? I've attended a lot of them with her. I mean, Beth she got a lot of energy. I'm like, Beth, she's like, Kanina, I'm going to give you, come on to these events, So, but I brought Beth here, and she's an extra special guest to me because I known Beth for many years. And I say, Beth, before I went live, I said, I'm going to pronounce your name right. I'm going to pronounce it Beth Bridges once again. Beth is she is a #1 Amazon best-selling authors. And once again, her book is Networking on Purpose. So, Beth, because you done attended over 2,500 events, tell us, what is the big secret to networking success?
Yeah, 2,500 networking events in about 10 years. Mm-hmm. And you would think that the big secret would be to do more networking. It's the opposite, because that's what prompted me to start writing the book and start figuring out how can I be more intentional and be more on purpose, because I had a lot of energy and I still loved every single event, but that was about 20 to 25 a month. Mm-hmm. That was a lot.
That is a lot. That is a lot. And I'd be like trying to make myself at least attend one event or week or whatever. But I know I've been with you a couple of times where I've attended like 2 or 3 a week with you, and it's like, whoa.
Just go.
I remember attending an event with you, and we went out of town, and you came pick me up for I think it was like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. And we traveled, when we traveled like, about 2.5 hours away. And I was thinking, and we were scheduled to be at another event back in town same evening, like about 5 or 6 o'clock. And I was sitting back there, I was like, oh my God, I can't make this event. I'm going to have to tell Beth I can't make this event at nighttime this evening. But you all, guess what? I attended that event with Beth in the daytime. And when we came back, I was like so energized. I just went into the event just like I had not been up all morning and been in the event. So yeah. So Beth is the lady to talk about and help you understand about networking. So Beth, what would you tell someone who is nervous or worried about networking?
Yeah, let me tell you about the secret to networking success, though, too, because it's not doing a whole lot. Uh-huh. It's not wearing yourself out doing it. That really became what I was seeking when I wrote the book. I wanted to come up with a strategy. And we all love networking tips. I have a series right now on Twitter, 100 networking tips. If you just do hashtag 100 networking tips, you'll find them. And it's ironic, though. Yeah, hashtag 100. Networking tips. But here's the secret. Tips are great as long as you have a strategy to fit them into. So you want to start with having a strategy, having a plan, having a big picture series of actions that you want to take in networking. And then when you pick up these tips or you pick up little ideas or even hacks, from people, now you've got a place to put them in a framework, and you can incorporate them into your networking.
Yes, Beth. What would you tell someone who is nervous about, nervous or worried about networking? Because a lot of times people, they want to attend a networking event, but they feels like, I'm not a social person or things like that. So what would you tell these people?
Couple of things to keep in mind, that winging it is tough. Mm-hmm. And when you go into something like that and you're winging it, you are going to feel uncomfortable. You are going to feel nervous. So having a strategy and having a plan, first of all, helps you know what you're doing. To a certain extent, you practice and you think about what you're going to say and you prepare for your show and you study your guests.
Yes, correct.
And you prepare.
Yes.
So learn about the group, learn about who might be attending that event. And then when you have this strategy, when you know what the parts of networking are, then you can feel confident that you know more about networking probably than almost anybody who's going to be there. And that right there will help you be much less, nervous or excited, right? Nervous and excited kind of feel the same. But when you're prepared and you know maybe who's going to be there, you know a little bit about the group, you've thought about how you're going to approach people and how you're going to talk to them and the kind of things that you want to do, that makes it a lot easier.
You know what? That is correctly. That's just like... let's say, for instance, what I hear you saying, let's say, for instance, you're going to a business networking event. And before you go to that business networking event, you want to have a purpose of going to that networking event. So I'm going to use this for example, okay? I went to a networking event not too long ago. And the networking event was talking about like stepping your power. And I'm all about walking your power. The networking event was an event that was actually targeting women entrepreneurs. And so because I am a woman entrepreneur and I'm also all about stepping in your power, I felt that I went to that event with a purpose because I'm connecting with like-minded people. Is that exactly what you're saying?
That is almost exactly what I'm saying. See, you know. And here's what else you did by choosing an event like that. Finding people who are like-minded in that they were there for the purpose of networking, for the purpose of meeting people, and understanding that they were there as well to meet people, to expand their network, and finding the right kind of events. Not something where you know you're going to be exactly comfortable because you know everybody. That may have been a room full of women you had never met, but you all had the same purpose, and that makes it so much simpler when you are like-minded in that you were at that event specifically for the purpose of networking. Correct. Absolutely.
Excuse me. So, Beth, I know that you are a #1 best-selling author on Amazon. And you also had a #1 best-selling author, New York Times author, Bob Berg, do your foreword on your book. So... won't you tell the people how to be a best-selling author and how to write that forward to your book? Get somebody like that.
So I loved your power thoughts because you talked about intention and having creative thoughts. When I started thinking about writing my book, a friend of mine said, "Who would you like to have write the foreword?" And I thought, oh, well, I don't know. And he said, no, think really big. If anybody could write it, anybody. And I told him, I said, Bob Berg. And he said, who's Bob Berg? I said, Bob Berg wrote a book called Endless Referrals, which was probably the first, no, I know it is the very first really serious networking book I ever read. And it really opened my eyes up to the idea that this is something that you don't just go out and kind of wing it. You have a plan, you have a strategy, you have some very specific and deliberate things that you do. That's what Endless Referrals talked about. And so I've been a huge fan of Bob Berg's for years and years and years. So deciding that, Bob Berg needs to write the foreword.
Yeah, you know what? Guess what, you all?
Out there.
Guess what? I actually got to meet Bob Berg because
that event that you were talking about that we drove.
That was the event.
That's what it was for.
That was.
See, look,
we've been on different events out of town, but
we've gone to more than one.
We went out of town, and I went out of town with
to meet Bob.
Yes.
Well, we went to see him.
We even went to lunch with him. I got to go to lunch with him because of Beth.
Yes, that's right. We had a fantastic time. So here's how this took place, and I want to tell you, if you're watching and there are people that you really want to connect with and they're kind of, like Bob, they're kind of a big deal, and you think, how can I meet this person? Twitter. I met Bob Berg on Twitter. I've been on Twitter since 2008. September of 2008, since the very, very early days of Twitter. And I was blogging at the time, and I was posting my blogs on Twitter. And one day I had a comment on one of my posts, from somebody named Bob Berg, and I thought, surely that can't be, the Bob Berg. So I tweeted out on Twitter, I think I just maybe couldn't be the Bob Berg, and he replies back, yeah, it's me.
Yeah, see,
And we just started having a conversation. And I would like and share, I was commenting on his blog, and just through that medium of Twitter, liking and sharing and giving value to each other's tweets and posts. And so it would have been back in early 2003. He was coming to Fresno to speak for the Fresno Pacific University series of events that they do. They have some amazing speakers. It's usually just huge. And Bob Berg was coming to speak, and he sends me a Facebook message. Said, I'm coming, I don't know if you know, but I'm coming to Fresno, and we should get together and have coffee.
You know what? I actually remember this incident with Beth because, I've been keeping close.
And I was so excited. It was fantastic.
So, Beth, you know what? I want Beth to come back onto another segment. I'm going to bring her back on, and I want her to come back on and tell us about her 5-part success plan to build a powerful and profitable business networking. That's actually what she talks about in her book. So, Beth, you want to come back? You want to come back?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. I'll come back sometime. We'll do this again.
No, you're going to come back
right now. Okay, I will do that.
But before we end this segment, why don't you go ahead and tell people how they can reach you?
How about Twitter? If you're on Twitter, I'm at Beth Bridges, or you can find my website, thenetworkingmotivator.com. And I'd love to hear from you on Twitter or Facebook. Or even reach out to me through my website.
Guess what, y'all? Inside secret, she always on Facebook. Yeah. But anyway, stay tuned, and we're going to come right back.
I've been waiting for a long time, gotta do it. And won't let nothing hold me down, gotta do it. It's my time, oh, it's my time. It's my time. I decided that
Welcome back. You're watching Kanina's BS. That BS stands for Best Solutions. I am Kanina Johnson, and you are hearing me on www.centralvalleytalk.com. I got one of my powerful guests here, which is Beth Bridges. Beth is the networking motivator and author of Networking on Purpose, and she is the former Chamber of Commerce executive who have attended over 2,500 networking events. And I just want to throw that out because she is an author, and she is one of the #1 best-selling authors on Amazon. And Beth, book is all about, the 5-part success plan to build a powerful and profitable business network. And I want Beth to explain to them exactly what your 5-part success plan is.
So this fits when we were talking earlier, what's the real secret to networking success? And a big part of that is to not just try to remember 100 networking tips, even though I am sharing 100 networking tips on Twitter. You do need a strategy. And just like so many other things, networking is really straightforward. It's pretty simple. It's not always easy, of course, like so many things. It's pretty easy to explain it, but the hard work is in the doing, right?
Yes.
So the 5 parts, when I started writing the book, I wanted to really boil it down for people and give them, not necessarily step by step, because that just sounds like so much work, right? Step by step. But if you are doing these things, then you are doing networking and you're doing it right. Because a lot of people ask, how do I know when I'm doing networking right? And there are a lot of right and wrong ways, and you can really decide that by your results. So if you're feeling frustrated or other people aren't really digging you and they're not really enjoying being around you, you may be doing it in a wrong way, which might be very sales focused or be very, me right now. So there's right ways which make it feel a lot more like friendship And building relationships and less like selling. Although there's nothing wrong with selling.
Yes, yes.
Sales is very, very important, but these
Yes.
are separate things. So very quickly, the 5 parts of networking. And if you do these things, you don't have to do them in this order, but if you do these things, you are doing networking, and anything outside of them is really doing something else. Highly likely that it's selling. Again, nothing wrong with it, but that's not why most people are at networking events or trying to build networking relationships. And then that's, again, where you get frustrated because you're trying to sell and they're not enjoying it because, you know, you're pushing sales on them. And it puts everybody in an awkward position, right? So the 5 parts of networking, and this is just very high level. You know, each one of these in itself is a discipline and something that you really take time to become an expert in, and you can dig deep into each one of them. But just very briefly, so if you're taking notes, right? Who takes notes when they watch TV? But all right.
Yeah, that's why. You know what? That's why they can go back and watch
That's
it
right.
over and
That's
over.
right.
And you know what? Even better. That's why they buy your book.
That's right. Buy my book.
Yeah.
All right. So the 5 parts of networking first. Believe in. And there's a blank there. And there's a number of things you can put in there. Obviously, believe in yourself, but also believe in that process. You got to go places, and we talked about going places with like-minded people, and then you meet people, and then you stay connected with them. We've been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
And then finally, you find ways to give value. And that's what you're doing, for example, with your show.
Yes.
You're giving value to people without asking for anything in return.
Correct.
That's the high level, very quick.
Yeah, that's
5 parts.
You know, that is. And, you know, I know that a lot of times people, they will go to a network for the first time and they will try to sell. So how do you handle people that are trying to sell at a networking event when you first meet them?
So what they're doing is they're skipping to the end. They're actually skipping to the past the end. So when you're building this networking relationship, you want to be giving value. And then if someone is giving you value, if they are helping you or they have established a relationship, then if they do want to offer what they have for sale, it doesn't feel so cold call sales in person. You know, that's what it feels like a lot of times when you're networking. And the first thing somebody does is gets to their sales pitch. It's awkward. Honestly, it feels awkward. And I think that's a reason why a lot of people don't enjoy networking, because they get that. What do you do? Right? If you're on the phone and you get a cold call at night, you just hang up the phone.
Yes. You know what? I get it a lot, too, about a business owner. I'll go like, no soliciting or something like that. But I see for as networking, when you go, this is one of the things that I've done, is like when I'm out networking and I meet people, then I keep in contact with certain people that I enjoy, just like Beth Bridges. I got to stay in contact with her.
Right.
But anyway, what people
to.
do business with, a lot of times what people do is doing business with who they know, like, and trust.
Yeah, absolutely. Bob Berg.
Yes. So, Beth, I know that Beth has a free gift, and it's 5 habits. So, Beth, tell the people how they can get their hands on your free gift.
So let's do this. Let's not make you sign up or do the whole give me your email thing and I'll mark it to you. Let's not do that. Just reach out to me on Facebook or reach out to me on Twitter. Hey Beth, I'd like that 5 habits of successful business networkers that you mentioned on Kanina's show, and I'll direct message you a link where you can just download it. No obligation. I'm not going to make you give me your email address, mailing address, social security number, or anything like that. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
just reach out to me on social media.
On Facebook is facebook.com/Beth or
Beth Bridges.
Beth Bridges, and then she got a page which is the Networking Motivator.
Yep. / the Networking Motivator.
Yes. And also I'm gonna share it on my Facebook and on my Twitter. So I want to thank you all for watching, Beth, and I thank you.
Thank you.
My hands are sweaty.
I don't care.
For being a guest on my show. So you all You know what, Beth?
What?
Well, you know what? We already just told them how they can contact you.
They can reach out to me. Just reach out to me and connect with me. Absolutely.
Yeah. But anyway, I want to thank Beth for being a guest on my show. She's been an extra special guest on my show, and I feel very privileged to have her on my show. So I want you all to stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
I've been waiting for a long time, gotta do it, and won't let nothing hold me down.